Welcome to another exciting and educating episode of Ask Your Pharmacist right here on Drugnet TV. My name is Peggy Sano and I am your host. This show is proudly brought to you by Drugnet, your #1 online pharmacy, and the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, supported by VitC4, your best vitamin C plus zinc supplement from Samus Pharma. Big thank you to our media sponsors, ETV Ghana and GH1 Television. We will go on a quick break. When I come back, I would introduce my guest pharmacist, topic, and location for today. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back.
Are you tired of roaming for your medications and can't find them? Sick and alone and can't get anyone to get your drugs? Do you need to talk to a pharmacist? Or do you feel uncomfortable when buying certain drugs from the pharmacy? Do you want your drugs to be delivered to you at the comfort of your own home or office? Then it's time to download the Drugnet app, spelled DRUGNET, from the Play Store or the App Store to enjoy total convenience. Use Drugnet, your #1 online pharmacy. For further inquiries on Drugnet, call 024 00 24455.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. You are watching Ask Your Pharmacist. Today we are on the street of Hatso, and our guest pharmacist today is from Miriam Apreku. She's a pharmacist at Palza Pharmacy, and the topic for discussion is colic pain and gripe water. Farm, how you doing?
I'm great. You?
Good. Great to see you today too.
We are here. We are alive. So
I'm actually very happy we are doing babies today. I know this is our first. So what is so special about colic and gripe water?
okay. So the problem is we are trying to target our mothers, our new mothers, our old mothers, everyone. We are just trying to let them know that there is colic pain. Fine. We need to soothe our babies. We need to make them stop crying. But are we doing it right? Are we giving them the right thing just because they are crying? Are we overdoing it because we all know how difficult it is being a new mother and all. So we are trying to give them a few tidbits on how to use their gripe water, even to choose the best gripe water for their babies, and make sure they are not overdoing it or abusing it. So that's our main focus for today.
Sounds good to me. We want to make sure our mothers are not overdoing it. Thank you.
So what question do you have for us today?
Okay, so I would want to know why mothers give their babies the anti-Mary gripe water.
Okay, so not only anti-Mary, there is a gripe water on the market. We have various gripe waters on the market. So they give them gripe water to at least relieve something that we call colic pain. Okay, so when they give it to their babies, it relieves them of the pain. But we are having some issues right now where parents are giving their kids gripe water immediately after every feed, even when the kids don't need it. So the main aim of today is that we are trying to educate people on the fact that you don't have to give gripe water to a child after every feed, but you should give the gripe water to the child maybe when the child is crying from colic pain. That's what our aim is for here today. Okay, so today we are here to talk about babies. Do you have any question about babies, anything with baby medication, anything at all?
Oh yeah, I do. Why do babies cry at all?
Okay, so babies will usually cry because they are hungry or they are in pain. Especially when they are newborn babies, they'll be having colic pain and all those things. So that's the reason why sometimes parents will buy gripe water for their babies to soothe their pain. So what question do you have for me today?
What are some side effects of gripe water?
Okay, so we realize that some of the gripe waters or the gripe mixture sometimes they contain oils. It could be peppermint oil, it could be dill, it could be fennel. These are all herbal stuff. And usually what happens that with the oil, sometimes the kids tend to have reflux. So it makes them throw up a lot. Some of these gripe waters also contain sodium, a lot of sodium. So then you realize that it's also causing the kids to actually have some bloatiness and being engorged a little bit. So it actually doesn't even relieve them sometimes. It gives them more problems. So if you're having so much sodium in the child's system, definitely it's going to give a lot of metabolic issues. We call it alkalosis, just because sodium bicarbonate is alkaline in nature and it's going to affect the child's metabolism. Remember, it's a little child, very sensitive to even the minute amount of drugs. So when you are giving gripe water, give it when the child actually needs it, not necessarily after every feed. Okay, so we know you're a breastfeeding mother. Do you have any experience with colic pain and gripe water, anything at all?
Yes, please. I want to know why the babies stretch so much when they are very tender. They are giving birth to. and especially at night, they feel very uncomfortable. Why is it so?
Okay, so it could be various issues. Remember, they are young, they are little, their stomach lining is growing, their intestines are growing. So definitely their nervous system is also growing. So there is going to be some spasms. When we say spasms, like there is some contractions involved in their stomach. And remember, they are young, they also get gulping in air as they eat, so it can cause a little bit of bloating. There's some indigestion happening. So when there is a lot of gas in their system like that, sometimes they would stretch because there is pain involved. They will clench their face because there is pain involved. Or it could even just be like they are lactose intolerant. They are not agreeing well with the milk that they are taking. So sometimes when it leads to pain, they will do that. They will stretch in an effort to relieve themselves. I hope you get that. Anything else?
What of a baby that takes in only breast milk? But it does happens that the stomach becomes very hard and you feel that the baby has so much gas in it. How then do you try to help the baby without the gap water?
Okay, so as I said, if the child is solely breastfeeding and the stomach is hard, and if you rule out the case of lactose intolerance, then definitely you know that the child is bloated. So when you introduce the gripe water, what it does is it will neutralize things in the stomach and the gases will come out. So that's how sometimes we also advise that when you are feeding them, you feed them in an upright position. You burp them as constantly as you can so that it will relieve them of some of these gases so that they don't go through a lot of pain and you'll be forced to use a lot of gripe water in the end.
Hey, Kofi, are you coming to the party? Everyone is here.
Oh, Mido, I'm not well low and I feel too weak to go out and get drugs.
Oh, Kofi, why the hassle? You can order all your drugs on the Drugnet app.
Drugnet app?
Yes, Drugnet app. I don't stress myself any longer. I just go on the app and upload all my prescriptions or call the pharmacist on the app and my drugs are sent to me at a fee of only 5 cedis.
Wow, this is amazing. I feel better already.
It's time to download the Drugnet app on Google Play Store or the App Store and enjoy total convenience.
Drugnet, your number one online pharmacy.
All right, so it's time for our social media question and farm. One of the first questions goes, my baby is 3 months old and for some time now, he has been crying almost every time. I have given him all types of gripe water, but they are not working. Please, what should I do? I need some help. This is basically from a mother who is probably frustrated already.
Okay, so we always assume that babies need gripe water when they are crying. Have you asked yourself, is my child also suffering from something else apart from colic pain? You know, when children are usually riddled with ear infections most of the time, usually it can cause constant crying. So we just have to know that when babies are crying uncontrollably almost every time, it's not always about colic. Is the child having temperature? Even if the child is not having temperature, the child is crying non-stop, it's going to get on your nerves as a mother too. It's not really going to help you take care of the child if you're always tired because the child is making you stay awake. Why don't you pop the child in the hospital? Let the doctors find out, look into the child's ear, the child's throat to see if there is something else really causing the crying, not necessarily colic. Forget about the colic or even your gripe water, take the child to the hospital and try to find out why your child is crying uncontrollably non-stop. I think that would be the best thing.
All right, I like the sound of that. And since colic is a very big thing for the mothers, we want to know if it can be like treated.
Okay, so actually colic is not something really one thing causing colic. It could be various factors contributing to your child having colic. It could even just be that the child is growing up, the digestive tract is growing, there is spasm, things are happening in the child's tummy. So it's not really about curing it. It's about making sure that your child is soothed as the child is growing and actually developing. So that's why you have gripe water to help when it's colic pain really. And you have paracetamol to help if the child is in pain. That your child is growing, the nerves are growing, the child is overstimulated, things will happen. So when it comes to colic, it's not about curing it, it's about managing it as the child grows, and we all want a healthy child. So that's all it is. Try and manage your child as the child grows, and that's all it is really.
All right, so we try to manage it. It's not a one-size-fits-all. Always ask your pharmacist for the right medications for your baby. Thank you.
Okay, so today, because it's about one of my favorite topics, babies. And when we have new babies, we all know how they can cry and a whole lot of things. So today it's about colic. Colic is actually a condition that is characterized by a child crying non-stop uncontrollably for no known reason actually, and really the pain is sometimes emanating from the stomach area. So how do we manage colic? Dear crampon sumpo na de colic ba ti ebeti a yenim se ye maami no mu be no mo wo a no mo to bibi te se gripe water de ma wo ma we bi sa ho se emre kra me de gripe water yi ma akwala yi akra ni po hia gripe water no nti bi sa ho se edro na me de ma akra na akra ni hia yenim se ye maami no mu bebre no akra ni dibia no ama ne gripe water akra ni dibia ama ne gripe water e ade pa ene e be abesia sa ne man kitenkete ni nyina e se ye hu se colic no e de na de ba akra ni nyini ni yefu no ni nsu no ni niema nyina nyini ti niema bebre ebetimi esia ebe ma na eya okakra aba ni yefu no mu ebetimi aba se aduane na akra ni mpo dimpo no eno na ema ni yefu no eye den eye ni ya enu ti na ebi o ma obekwa akoto gripe water bisa won se gripe water ni krade na wom efe bibi sodium bicarbonate eno na ewo gripe water nim se na ebe ma gas na ewo akra ni eyefu no mu eso ate kakra na akra ne ho aye den atono enu na ye de gripe water de ma akra no enti so de gripe water ma akwala men ko fa ni se odidi wie bia na wa ma ne gripe water me pa so ye nye ne sa bra akra ni chichi ni mu na o keka ne sabo mu ye ne sa sei na eche sa akra no ni hu ba bia ne enu na o su no eno na o de gripe water ne de ma akwala na akra ne ho aton so so kai say enye bibia na ma across enye colic nkwa na ma across nti se me pesa me ma tips kakra bia ye betimi adwen ho ansampo na ye use gripe water na ye use gripe water tips bia say e wo ye trim wo betimi cry avoid this so use gripe water for colic pain sa kwala ni de bia from age na ni yem na e ma ni sa pain na wo betimi ama ni pacifier sani akra ne nko ba se obaba na numu no o mene mframa bebre na sa wo ma akwala na aduane nso a ebeboa sa wo be ma akra na tena se upright kakra me ka upright a sa wo ma akra ni tin kofo mu bebre abra wo ma na aduane na sa wo ma na aduane bia sani e ka sa wo ba akwala na chi na mframa betimi efri na num anase e ka sa wo case no I mean when we are talking about burping your child constantly, it also helps with colic pain. And you know that when you give gripe water almost all the time at a very early stage when the child doesn't need it, it can actually make the child develop allergic reactions because it's not all the content that's in a particular gripe water mixture that is good for your baby. So even though you are trying to suit your baby, sometimes you might be introducing things into your baby that your baby doesn't need. Have you thought about herbal remedies? Is it really cool with your child? So don't rush getting gripe water for your child when your child really doesn't need it. Remember, you need to use gripe water when your child actually needs the gripe water. So these are the complications that can actually arise from colic. Usually the funny thing is it's not really on the babies, it's also on the new mothers. Just imagine your baby crying non-stop all night and you as a new mother, you are not getting any rest. It actually leads to in case you're having any postpartum depression, it gets worse. And there are some situations where mothers can get frustrated and shake their babies, and that can lead to some dire consequences. So these are the tidbits that I can also offer you. Remember, after 6 months, I don't think your child actually needs gripe water alone, because at that particular moment, colic pain reduces drastically. But we find out that some mothers still continue using gripe water at 1 year and above, just because sometimes their kids are constipated. Fine. The idea is to relieve their kids of constipation, but that's not the real use of gripe water. Then you find out that these mothers are actually overdosing their kids on gripe water. Remember, gripe water contains sodium, a lot of sodium. How is that on your child's heart? How is that on your child's body? So I nyaman kiti bi se na ese wo hu. Wo to gripe water na, nyaman na e wo mu no, nyina na eyema wo ba no. Nti so wo akra ne kiti pan no nkyere se mani gripe water. Ube mani gripe water bra krane ewo oya obi mu. Enu nti na ye niema nkiti bi se na mahu se nyesa wo ma akra na aduane bia na wa mani gripe water. Wo yesa na wo mani gripe water, too much gripe water. Wo overdose akra na or gripe water. Sometimes colic pain is not even just due to any other thing, just because of the formula you are giving to your child. When we are dealing with parents who actually are not able to breastfeed their kids, sometimes the formula you are giving to the child is giving the child colic pain. So it's something you should consider. Speak to your pharmacist, change the baby formula if it's possible. There is also a condition. Your condition, my friend, is lactose intolerance. Lactose intolerance, you're not just a aqualano, ontimi fa milk, or fa milk car, a ya breno. Into the obey and say, ontimi cry and fa wenufun so nimpo, so fa wenufun so na the irony or ya on a breno. Into no bequa milk car, a yes soy based. And no, doctor and casa, and I know pharmacist and our midwife in casa, no mouse option. No. Kai say, and yet a yaw be a walk, moon a colic, and our gripe water and some. So what the Ubani woho now has our crannium I call baby, especially lawyer crow ya for fra. Esa wo jane home. Na say gripe water ni ye, you must send your pa. Sesano. Also, son and name wa Fanico Hospital. Ne has a Ubano, Ewa Pumudina, Bibia air costable. The das in a sambe shave you.
Dose for Healthy Living is up next. Don't go anywhere. Today on Dose for Healthy Living, ask for affordable options. If a drug cost is too high for you, talk to your pharmacist about more affordable options, such as generic drugs. There you have it, another exciting episode like I told you. Thank you so much for staying tuned. I hope you did learn a lot. This show is brought to you by Drugnet, your #1 online pharmacy. Download the Drugnet app on Google Play Store or the App Store. Have all your medication delivered to you at a cool price, and you get the chance to speak to a pharmacist as well. This is also brought to you by the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, supported by Vit Fort, your best vitamin C plus zinc supplement from Samus Pharma. And thank you to our media sponsors, GH1 Television and ETV Ghana. Thank you. Like I always say, always ask your pharmacist, because what goes inside of you is merely irreversible. My name is Peggy Sano, and I'll be coming your way same time next week. Until then, be safe and bye-bye.